I don't know what happened, but the Hello Bible box video that we did not load and then got deleted. Because I swore that it had loaded to YouTube. So I deleted it to make room for another video. It wasn't there. But we did get our Hello Bible box. Everybody don't need our address. But, we already opened it and went through it and did all our crafts. This month is Daniel. Got a cute little book. I can read it to y'all in a minute. It's cute. And then we had crafts. We did this little lighthouse. And a lion, of course, because it's Daniel. And the crafts were super easy. The kids did most of it by themselves except for the cutting. I did most of the cutting because it was difficult, I guess, to use the scissors. Our scissors are old. And we got a lighthouse calendar to remind us throughout all of 2019 that God is our lighthouse. And here is the little instruction books. And this goes with the story. It's little questions for critical thinking. And we got this little postcard. It says, "Dear Bible Explorer, I'm thrilled to introduce Daniel to you. He trusted God even when everything seemed lost. Learn how God protected Daniel in the lion's den. Your friend, Danny the donkey." And we also got this little card that says that we got a magnet and everything, which is on the fridge already, and so is the sticker. Another thing too is that these boxes, part of the money that goes towards the boxes helps feed hungry kids. It's called the Kilgoris Project, I think, and we got a sticker for that, but it's on my coffee pot right now. And then the magnet, that's the word I'm looking for, is the little donkey guy. It's pretty cute. Anyway, so Daniel and the Lions, cute little book. My kids actually, well, my 2-year-old didn't, but my 6-year-old actually paid attention to this, so that's saying something. It said, "If lions had the gift of speech, there are some things that they could teach. There is one cat, especially, who could tell much to you and me. If he could talk, what would he say? His story could be told this way. Long, long ago in Babylon, a lot of things were going on. I've lived each day with my small crew and did just what most lions do. As you may well know, as an aside, a crew of us is called a pride. Then trappers came for us one day. They caught us and took us away. They showed us to the king, and then they put us in his lion's den. We all were very hungry when they threw a man into our den. Aha, I thought, it's time to eat. My pride rushed forward for this treat. I later learned when he was here, inside this place of raging fear, his name was Daniel, and he had some enemies who were quite mad. Daniel was honored by the king, who gave him charge of everything. Those men with jealousy and hate had tried to seal poor Daniel's fate. They hatched a plan and tricked the king, who signed a really rotten thing. That awful law would not permit a prayer to God, not one little bit. Now anyone who disobeyed, no matter to which god he prayed, would be arrested and then thrown into our fearsome den. Well, Daniel knew it wasn't right. He knew this law was done from spite. He kept on praying anyway to the true God 3 times a day. His enemies were watching then. They looked into his window when they saw to their malicious glee someone was praying. It was he. Can I help you? Our HelloBible box video didn't save.
Oh.
They took him to the king, who said, "I surely don't want Daniel dead." Those evil men then pointed out, "He has to die without a doubt." The king agreed that this was true, so there was nothing he could do. He handed Daniel over then. That's how he got into our den. As we were rushing for the feast, we couldn't touch him in the least. God sent his angel here, and he was far more powerful than we. We couldn't hurt Daniel because God closed our mouths and sheathed our claws. So when the king came here to see, Daniel was healthy as could be. I'm sure you're glad Daniel got free, and you should be, but think of me. You can't imagine how I feel that day I missed a tasty meal. But it was all right, if you please. Remember Daniel's enemies? The king threw in those evil men, so there was feasting in our den. And then a letter to the parents from the editor. And just to heads up, there's lessons for each craft. For example, the lion was guidepost 1. There's a whole list of questions here to help convey the meaning a little bit better when the kids think about the answers. And then it's got a place to pray, which we did, about asking for God's help and how to be trustworthy. And then it says create a lion pillow. And it is to remind you to be brave in the face of lions. And then guidepost 2 has some more questions dealing with trust. And to trust God. And then it's got a place to pray for trust when you need it. And then there was the lighthouse craft, which we put the little Bible verse that says, "When I'm afraid, I will trust in you." To remind us that we can always trust God to be our lighthouse, and He will always be there. I think that's everything, but we really enjoyed this box. Like, it's one of my favorite boxes that we've ever gotten, and we do subscription boxes, you know, a good bit. We might not keep them up every time, but we, you know, at least try different boxes a lot. So definitely planning on keeping up this one because it's pretty quality material. So maybe this one will load. I hate that the boys are not in it because they had so much fun the first time. But they're eating Halloween candy right now, so they didn't have much interest in this.